teaching them all this stuff.
In a bid to strengthen the long relationship between the British Army and the Nigerian Army, the UK Minister for the Armed Forces and Veterans and the Chief of Army Staff on Special Forces Operations, the Minister for the Armed Forces and Veterans, noted that he and his team had visited some countries in West Africa, but according to him, nowhere is that more obvious than here in Nigeria, where the relationship between British Armed Forces and particularly British Army is incredibly pleased.
February 2020, and on all of my visits, and in many visits to West Africa aside, it's been very clear to me that this is a part of the world in which the UK has many great friends, and where the UK's interests are shared by those friends. Nowhere is that more obvious than here in Nigeria, where the relationship between our armed forces, and particularly our armies, is incredibly close. The customs and traditions of the Nigerian army are almost identical to many of the customs traditions of the British army. Many Nigerian officers have trained or come to study with distinction in the UK. And over the last, over many years, but particularly over the last decade or so, the BMAT and Optaurus have been a fantastic vehicle through which to strengthen those ties. And so I come with a new government in Nigeria and new chiefs appointed to introduce myself, to establish new friendships, and to build on what has gone before. To invite you to be honest and candid with us about the things that we've been doing that perhaps you no longer care for, and the things that we haven't been doing.
He pledged to work with the Nigerian Army to meet Kuwa's ambition for his Army General, whilst it is under his command, to understand what Kuwa's ambitions are and how UK must support them.
And that you would like us to do anew, because I think it's important to us that we don't, that what we're doing is the stuff that meets your ambition for your Army General whilst it is under your command. And my team are itching to have those conversations with you and your team to understand what your ambitions are.
The Chief of Army Staff seeks for more synergy with the UK government and British Army, especially in the areas of training of the Nigerian Army personnel, adding that the Army is open to other areas of cooperation.
And I also want to thank you for the relationship that exists between the Nigerian Army and the British Army. We've had a long history of beneficial relationship with the British Army. Our army is patterned along the British Army in terms of the organization, equipment, and the like. And you have mentioned some areas that we have received assistance from the UK in the past, the BMAT, the training of our officers in RCDS, in RMAs, and other British military institutions. So we want to appreciate you for this. And we appreciate you especially for what you have done to assist us in the fight against insurgency and other forms of insecurity that confront us as a nation. We want to appreciate the BMAT, the OP Taurus, and other British efforts towards our operations in the Northeast and other parts of Nigeria. For the things that we do together, it's not that we don't care for them anymore. We do care for them. And so we are very much interested in continuing the partnership, especially the training, and even expanding on it, where the UK government and the British Army is disposed towards the expansion. And we are open to other areas of cooperation. We are open to UAV training. We are open to special forces training. We are open to so many other areas of cooperation. And we'll continue discussion with the BMAT and the British Embassy in this regard. We are also open to the procurement of equipment on platforms from the UK. We are in discussion towards the procurement of the Husky mine clearance vehicles from the UK. I know that has stalled, but we appreciate if this can be kickstarted and pushed forward.